Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into a story that's equal parts shocking and eye-opening. A case of lead poisoning in a New York City special education classroom. But this isn't just about one child, it's about a systemic issue that raises some serious questions. Let's break it down. So, here's the hook. Imagine your child starts exhibiting strange behaviors, chewing on walls, becoming aggressive, and even biting classmates. You'd be terrified, right? That's exactly what happened to Miguel Rodriguez's 5-year-old son, who has autism and is nonverbal. What's worse? He was diagnosed with severe lead poisoning, and the source was his own classroom. Personally, I think this story is a wake-up call about how we prioritize the safety of vulnerable kids. What makes this really interesting is that it's not just a one-off incident, it's part of a larger pattern of neglect in special education classrooms. Now, let's talk about the inspections. City law requires lead paint inspections in classrooms for kids under 6, but here's the kicker. Rodriguez's son's classroom had never been inspected since 2019. In my opinion, this is a massive failure of the system. What many people don't realize is that kids with developmental disabilities, like Rodriguez's son, are at higher risk of lead exposure because they are more likely to mouth painted surfaces. If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just about following the rules, it's about protecting the most vulnerable among us. One thing that immediately stands out is the disparity in inspection rates. According to Gothamist analysis, only 10% of special education classrooms for elementary students received at least one inspection in 2025, compared to 20% of general education classrooms. From my perspective, this suggests a troubling bias. Are we saying that some kids' safety matters more than others? This raises a deeper question. Why are special education classrooms being overlooked? Is it incompetence, or is it something more systemic? A detail I find fascinating is how lead paint affects kids with disabilities differently. Lead doesn't just cause physical harm, it can exacerbate developmental issues like hyperactivity and inattention. What this really suggests is that these kids are facing a double whammy. Their disabilities already put them at a disadvantage, and lead exposure compounds those challenges. It's heartbreaking, and it's preventable. Now, let's talk about the response. The education department was ordered to remediate the classroom, but they didn't start the work until after the deadline. Seriously? When parents send their kids to school, they trust that the environment is safe. But in this case, the system failed spectacularly. What's even more frustrating is that the city's regulations focus on kids under 6, but developmental age, not chronological age, should be the priority. A 6-year-old with a developmental disability might still engage in hand-to-mouth behaviors, making them just as vulnerable. This story isn't just about one classroom or one child, it's about a system that's failing its most vulnerable students. Personally, I think we need to rethink how we approach inspections and safety protocols. Why aren't special education classrooms getting the same level of scrutiny as general education ones? And why are we waiting for tragedies to happen before we act? As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. If we can't ensure the safety of kids in our schools, what does that say about our priorities as a society? This isn't just a New York City problem, it's a reflection of how we value, or undervalue, certain groups of children. So, here's my question for you, what do you think needs to change? Let's keep this conversation going in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.